What's up, baby? It's T, and it's also Sunday, and today I wanted to deep condition my hair. Now you might be able to tell that my hair is currently in some kinky twists, and I do still deep condition my hair while it's in kinky twists. Day to day I'll just mist it with my aloe vera mist that I showed you guys in my favorite hair products video, but I do still like to deep condition it every week or every 2 weeks. In this case I think it's closer to 3, but better late than never. I like to do that throughout the entire time the kinky twists are in my head, making sure I'm keeping up with a semi-regular schedule of deep conditioning because my hair be breaking, y'all. I'm trying to grow my hair, and growing your hair is mostly about retaining the length. As we all know, most of us don't have problems with growing our hair, we have a problem with retaining the hair that we grow. So I think it's important to maintain your hair even when it's put away like this. So I'm gonna show you guys my dry deep conditioning technique. This is just something that I came up with as a way to deep condition my hair without actually having to go through the whole washing in the shower, rinsing out deep conditioner process. I came up with it as a way to sort of prolong the style while still taking care of my hair in the style. Because as we all know, when you wash your hair in the shower with a kinky twist or box braids kind of style, it's going to frizz up and it's going to shorten how long you can wear the style. I do work out and stuff, so I do sometimes still have to do that if, you know, I feel the need to actually get in there and really wash my hair properly. This is a good way to kind of buy some time and keep your hair conditioned in between those sessions. So let's start off by taking out this wonky looking braid that I put it in for my workout. I call this my dry deep conditioning technique simply because at no point is my hair getting completely soaking wet. I don't get in the shower at all. I don't rinse my hair at any point, but I'm still deep conditioning my hair in a way that seems to keep it pretty happy during the duration of styles like this. So just to make things easier, I'm gonna split my hair into 2 sides, and of course this side's gonna have a little bit less hair in it for obvious reasons. And I'm just gonna take a bottle with some distilled water in it. That's the only thing that's in here, and I'm just gonna mist my hair. Just get it not like crazy wet, just kind of as if you were misting it to just refresh it for the day. I mentioned before that I tend to use distilled water whenever possible because I live in California and our water sucks. Our water is full of chlorine and God knows what else. So I try to minimize how much tap water I put in my body and on my body. Now, some of you guys know I do work out, so I do have to take care of my scalp. So that's the next thing. I'm gonna be using this scalp elixir from Shea Moisture. Sometimes I'll just use some distilled water with some tea tree oil. I'll just mix it up myself and spray that on my scalp. But if I have something like this and I'm feeling bougie, I'll use it. So I'm just gonna go through each side, working from bottom to top, making sure that I mist my scalp. This product is geared toward people with like dandruff and like flaky scalp. I don't have either of those things, but I like that it has ingredients in it like neem to help refresh your scalp. I know some people like to use witch hazel on their scalp in some protective styles, but I think the tea tree and water or something like this is also a good option. If you work out a lot, you can do this, you know, midweek as well, or you could probably even do it after every workout if you wanted to, just to keep your scalp feeling fresh, because it really does feel nice. So now that that's all over my scalp, I'm just going to massage it in a little bit. Make sure that those good ingredients are making contact with my scalp. Coming at you guys today, sans makeup. It always cracked me up when I watch YouTube videos where girls will be like installing a style or doing something where you can tell they're just at home, they're just chilling, doing their hair, but they have on like a full face of makeup to like wash their hair, and I'm just like, nigga, please. I mean, to each his own, but it just seems kind of odd. I'm not about to put on some makeup to show you guys what I do when I'm chilling at home. I'm sorry. I'm just not one of those. So now that I've refreshed my scalp and gotten my hair kind of misted with the water, I'm gonna apply my deep conditioner. Now, as far as what my deep conditioner is, it can really be any conditioner, you know, a rinse out conditioner, an actual deep treatment conditioner that I feel okay with not rinsing out. A few years back, I did a video called A Different Approach to Deep Conditioning, and I'll link that here if you haven't seen it. This dry deep conditioning technique more or less evolved out of that, the way I talked about deep conditioning in that particular video, because I won't be rinsing the deep conditioner out. That's what makes it a dry deep conditioning technique. So you want to pick a conditioner that you feel cool with not rinsing out. You don't want to pick something like the Apogee 2-Step or something like that where you have to rinse it out. You want to pick something where if you look at the ingredients, you're cool with all of those staying in your hair. For today, I'm going to go with the Shea Moisture Deep Treatment Mask, one of the OG Shea Moisture conditioners. So I've got this much on my hands. That's a fair amount, I'd say. And I'm just going to kind of grab at my hair lightly because this is a style that we're trying to make last. So you don't want to weigh your hair down with tons of product. You don't want to encourage frizz. That's the whole reason we're doing a dry deep conditioning. We're trying to hook up our hair with some lovely products and ingredients, but not destroy the style while we're doing it. You'll see how I just sort of like allowed whatever was on my hands to just, as I lightly tapped all over my hair, make contact, and then I just press it in, like such as the Iraq. Pat the spots where I can see like this layer underneath didn't really get as much love. This underside needs some more love. And we're just bringing the product down to roughly where I think my hair ends. There's no need to condition all the way down here because I know my hair is not all the way down there. If it were, I wouldn't have kinky twists in. And I'm just smushing the product in until I feel like it's actually more or less on every single twist on this side. I'm feeling pretty satisfied with the coverage I have of the conditioner on this side. So I'm going to now add some oil. For this particular type of use, the dry deep conditioning, I like to go for a really light oil, and there are a few companies out there that have oils that spray. Shea Moisture has a few. I'm going to use this one from Sultanicals. It's their Gloss Boss. So I like the spray ones because they tend to be so light. It's easier to make sure you don't overdo it, adding too much product to your twists. What I'm actually going to do is I'm not going to spray my twists, I'm going to spray my hand. Put 3 little sprays into my hand, rubbing them together, and then I'm just gonna glide down the twists in the prayer motion. I feel like this application technique works really well with the kinky twist because it just flattens them out between my hands and then applies the product fairly evenly. So I really like doing it this way. So this side's done. I'm just gonna put it in a quick braid and then we're gonna move on to the other side. This side has dried out just a little bit while I was working on the other one, so I'm going to add a little bit more water before I start. Same exact thing, just kind of prayer motion, patting, just trying to touch my hair in as many places as I can. That's basically what I do to kind of just lay down that conditioner first. I'm just trying to touch my twists from top to bottom, and as many of them, if not all of them, if possible. All right, I'm pretty satisfied now with the conditioner distribution, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the oil now. Same exact thing, spread a couple pumps on my hands and just prayer motion down the twists in the section. And for my shave side, I'm just going to do a little bit of oil because I do still like to give that part of my scalp some love. And just smoothing some of that oil up my nape. So we're going to throw a braid in this side here. Okay, the product is in our hair, so now we need a beautiful conditioning cap. So I'm just going to wrap these around my head as best I can to actually fit them in this bag. All right, now that we're looking like we're ready for prom, it's time to apply some heat. So use whatever you have. If you have a heating cap, if you have just a warm towel. I'm gonna sit under my hooded dryer for 20 to 30 minutes, but to you, it'll seem like mere seconds because I'm gonna see you right after this dissolve. See, for you it was just a couple seconds, but in reality I watched a whole episode of Colbert. I was under the dryer for 20 to 30 minutes, just like I said, and after that I let my hair cool off. And now we are ready for the final step of the dry deep conditioning. The final step I think is pretty important because, as we know, heat lifts the cuticle of your hair. So what I do is I take my normal everyday leave-in, which is mostly aloe vera juice with some glycerin and oils added to it. And this is what I use to moisturize these twists, or even just my real hair day to day, or just whenever I feel like I need a little pick-me-up if my hair's feeling a little dry. And I also use it at the end of my dry deep conditioning routine to help shut those cuticles back down and lay them flat. Heat and alkaline things lift the cuticle, while acids help to lay your hair and cuticle flat again. And this is mostly aloe vera juice, so that's an acidic thing, and it's also, my hair just really likes it, so I feel like it's a great way to close down those cuticles after applying heat to my hair. So I just give it a good shake because I mix this up myself so it doesn't have emulsifiers in it to keep everything kind of emulsified. And I'm just gonna spritz my hair down, not so that it's like soaking, but just generously. And that should do it. I just like to kind of squeeze that aloe vera mix in a little bit more as well. I'll quickly hit my shave side. And that is it. That is how I deep condition my hair while it's in kinky twists. Not doing it the traditional way you would deep condition your hair, where you put in conditioner and rinse it out. Of course, this is the dry deep conditioning technique. As I said, I like to do this once a week or once every 2 weeks. In this case, I think it's closer to 3, but my hair's been feeling pretty good, so I don't feel too bad about being late. To me, this is just a great way to deep condition your hair while it's in a style like kinky twists or braid extensions without severely shortening the lifespan of the style. I know a lot of us can be guilty of neglecting our hair when we put it away in protective styles, which kind of defeats the entire point of a protective style. So I really think that this is a good method for deep conditioning your hair while it is put away. You could of course do the same technique with box braids, with your own loose hair and twists or braids, or probably even with cornrows. I've never tried it on cornrows because, despite cornrows being my absolute favorite style of all time, I'm unable to cornrow my own hair. Like, I understand how to do it intellectually, like I understand what I need to do, but I just can't execute it. It always looks like a special needs chimp did it when I cornrow my own hair. But in any event, I still think this would be a perfectly fine way to deep condition your hair if you are wearing cornrows for several weeks and you still want to deep condition your hair while it's in those cornrows. So there you have it. Let me know if you try this technique out, and I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!
That's a nappy-headed hose there, I'm gonna tell you that now.